chat. This next react, I'm actually quite excited for, bro. I've been waiting for a good video to be dropped on this, okay? NBA gambling scandal. All right, let's get into it, bro. Obviously, like 30 people were arrested in big gambling conspiracy. It was the feds that did it, which means if the feds did it, goddamn, they got some evidence, bro. They got a lot of evidence. And I know Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier were probably the main names, but it was a lot of other niggas too. Coaches, staff, apparently some fucking mobs, some mob members, some gang banging mob members also involved.
They may have cleared Terry Rozier, but not the FBI. This dude will never play in the league again. Rozier is done for life, just like Jontay Porter. Chauncey Billups too. Wait until you hear what he did that I have not heard talked about involving Damian Lillard. But these are two separate cases just announced that both involve NBA players and coaches. The first one we already knew about, but got new details on, including illegal betting with the Los Angeles Lakers. The other case is new. It's a poker game that Chauncey Billups played in. So who cares? It's poker. Actually, it was a bit more than that. These were rigged games connected to the mafia. So when someone would threaten...
You mean to tell me? Oh, thank you for the pin. I'll pin it at the end of this video. You mean to tell me Chauncey Billups, Detroit Pistons superstar and Hall of Famer, is engaging in illegal gambling, my nigga? Bro, at what point, I'm telling you, greed, human greed has to be the worst trait. It's the fact that nothing is ever enough. Bro, he's made over $100 million in his life. There's no need for that.
Violence, even held a guy at gunpoint who refused to give him what they wanted. But is Chauncey really guilty? Well, can you believe 2 years ago, a pro poker player called Chauncey out on his podcast, said they knew the game was rigged but couldn't prove it.
There was this game, it started in LA and then it came to Vegas for a few days, and it was all built around Chauncey Billups. It obviously was for sure confirmed to be cheated, but there's just no recourse. Well, it's tough too whenever you're dealing with somebody like high profile like that, because it's like this guy beat charges. You think he cares about you calling him a cheater?
Yeah.
Wow. And that was 2 years ago. Chauncey is cooked. But at the same time, I have to acknowledge these two cases aren't directly connected, so why announce them together? And why now? Some people are accusing the FBI of being biased against the NBA, trying to send them a message about how they speak and not going to the White House after you win a championship, huh? Well, the FBI director was asked about that to his face. But let's start with the sports betting, because that's the really big one that affects the league. Info was used to place bets on the Hornets, Magic, Blazers, Lakers, and Raptors. Of course,
leave the Raptors out of it, dude. Oh, this nigga brought shame. He brought shame to the Raptors.
We already knew about the Raptors. That was Jontay Porter. Sportsbooks noticed weird betting patterns
bro. He was
on
like
Porter's
13th string. He doesn't count.
Huge red flag. So they reported it to authorities, who then made arrests. Now, Porter said that he told associates that he was going to leave a game early so that the bet would cash. Well, now the FBI says Rozier did the exact same thing. March 23rd, 2023, game while he was on the Hornets. Rozier told people who'd leave early about $200,000 worth of bets hit. But what about those other teams? The Blazers, the Magic, the Lakers? Well, the FBI says that Rozier and Damon Jones, an ex-assistant coach, would use inside info. The exact wording was, they misused it.
Okay, I'm not going to defend these niggas because I'm very anti-gambling, right? I put up with it because unfortunately it's all over the streaming space and it's now married to sports. There's no way to avoid it. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and complain about it every time I see a FanDuel ad. But I'm very against all forms of gambling, especially if you're gambling on things that have nothing to do with you and are completely luck, all right? But at the same time, our politicians make hundreds of millions of dollars a year doing the same thing. Why do you think their portfolios outperform the S&P 500 every single year? I'm just saying, bro. Like, it's not just happening in sports. Insider trading is happening in every financial domain. Anybody that knows, it's all like in crypto, it's nonstop. The niggas that know are making hundreds of millions. And the dumbass retail niggas that just keep thinking they're gonna get lucky keep getting fucked. It happens in every way. It happened in the NFTs. It's just gonna keep happening, bro. And if you aren't certain that you're on the inside, don't get involved, bro. You're the one that's gonna lose money. It's not like I can't make 13% in the S&P 500. I just know the whole thing is being propped up right now. It's a bubble, my nigga. There's no actual increase in value, but there's an increase in the price of the stock. How is that possible? How is that possible? How are companies that aren't generating revenue increasing in value every single year? This is a scheme, my nigga. I'm not falling for this shit. I'm not losing all my money to some dumb shit. So all I'm saying is, yes, they're wrong for this, but also this happens in a lot of ways that we never choose to explore.
Information obtained from long-standing relationships with coaches and players to pass along betting information. So Damon Jones was a teammate with LeBron in Cleveland. Then he coached him in 2016. He was his personal shooting coach, okay? This man finds out that LeBron is going to sit against the Bucks last year.
That's the part
sure
that
enough,
blows me when
no
rich
Bron,
people do
and
this,
that
bro.
bet hits. Then he gets info on Anthony Davis, and what happens next is actually kind of funny. So the indictment says that he learned from AD's trainer that AD was going to be out February 9th against the Thunder. So he then texts a guy named Eric Ernest, who pays Jones a $2,500 fee for the information. Ernest then gives that info to another guy.
You see how much of a loser the middleman is in this situation? You mean to tell me you just risked your whole future for $2,500, my nigga? Bro, you work in the NBA, man. You should not be stressing over $2,500. It was worth it for you? $2,500?
Who places a $100,000 bet against the Lakers. Then AD not only plays, but he plays his regular minutes and plays great. Lakers win, and the bet loses. Ernest then texts Damon Jones like, what the heck? I want my money back. But Jones or Rozier would have info on who wouldn't play on the Blazers, March 24, 2023.
Get scammed,
and they
buddy.
knew that every Magic starter was going to sit April 6th. The FBI says information on who wouldn't play came from a Magic player with a relationship to a defendant and was bet on. But Chauncey also gave info to that same gambling connect on his own team, the Blazers. Check this from the FBI. On March 24, 2023, the Blazers played the Bulls. Prior to the game, their record was 32-40, out of playoff contention. Co-conspirator 8, that is Chauncey, told the defendant Eric Ernest that the Trailblazers were going to be tanking. So Billups told Ernest before the news was publicly announced, several of the Blazers' best players, including player 1, would not be playing in that.
Whoa, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the first ever confirmed sighting of tanking? I know we all know when a team is tanking when they just lose a bunch of games and they have their best player subbed out. But to see it on paper, the coach of the team chose to tank? 76ers? Yeah, probably. Was that proven? Damn. And it's coming from the coach, too. That is not good.
Game. I looked at Damian Lillard. That was the first game that he sat when they tanked. The information they'd be tanking and not playing Damian Lillard was not available to the public. So he gave inside info on his own team. That is banned for life type stuff.
Yeah.
But he was also charged in this mafia poker game thing. The way that worked was ex-athletes were used to draw in these
Think he got
fish.
kicked out the league
We're
for it?
basically like rich old guys with a
I do
ton of
not
money who
remember that.
want to play against ex-athletes, right? So the FBI says that Chauncey
AOT, thank you so much for the fucking 10 gifted subs, man. W's, bro. Is that an Attack on Titan reference? By the way, I watched the first 3 episodes. The show's fucking amazing so far.
would lure these fish in, but the Mafia already had the whole
like it
game
better than
rigged.
Solo Leveling.
They already knew what cards everyone had at the table. The way they did it was they used a rigged shuffler, an X-ray table, so if you had the cards down, it knew what cards it was, and a camera inside the chip holder. Then they would relay that info to people at the table and tell them exactly how to play. They stole about $7 million in total from these fish guys. So this is a big announcement with a lot of guys from the NBA. So why are people saying...
You know what's so bizarre about this? If you're in the mob and you have a casino, you're already scamming everybody in the casino, right? The odds are stacked against the people in there already. Casinos are easy. They just make millions. It's such an easy money generator. It's confirmed, guaranteed money generation. And the suckers that go in there just go in there for the thrill. You don't even need to do anything illegal, because even the legal maneuvers that you've done, it just prints money. So it's just like, at what point, like if you're the mob, I guess it doesn't fucking matter to you because you're already doing illegal shit. But when you're a civ, why even get involved for marginal increases in your revenue? It's not even like quadrupling your income. You make 100 million, you're getting 500 million from the shit or something like that. It's marginal. 200,000 is nothing for Terry Rozier. Come on, man. Is that a year? What are we talking about? He's supposed to be getting paid 26 million this year and got caught feeding people $200,000 worth of info? What the fuck are we talking about? Do his career earnings? Okay. $135 million in a decade. Did he run through 135 mil? Is he buying jets every year? How is that possible? Just so you guys know, once you're in the hundreds of millions, it's genuinely hard to use all your money. You have to actually think of like, oh, what the fuck else can I buy after 5 homes, 8 Rolls Royces? What else is there to purchase in life? Jets? Unless he's gambling it all. Wait. He's getting in gambling debt. Yo, bro, all my rich niggas in the chat, please do not ever gamble, bro. All right, leave that for the broke niggas, bro. Yo, New Zealand, thank you so much for the 10 get the subs. I appreciate it. New Zealand Limited, W10. Please, bro, I'm telling you, gang, it is not worth it. You have too much to lose, and if you can't stop, bro, it's not worth it. They're like, it's not that I don't think I can control myself. It's why even introduce the shit to my life. Don't do it, bro. Nah, just every once in a while. I only do it when I'm in Vegas. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it. If you're rich, I'm telling you, bro, you got way too much to lose, gang. It will take everything from you. And then when you have nothing, you're going to reach a rock, a point so low. Don't do it, bro.
It's political. Well, let's start with the fact that the NBA as a whole is not the most friendly to this administration, right? In 2017, the Warriors were the first
team. Another 10 get there from New Zealand Limited. Appreciate you, my boy. Shit is literally made to take your bread. Yeah, bro, go find a fun hobby that doesn't cost you millions of dollars, man. You can do it. I believe in you, man. Come on, yo, New Zealand. Thank you for the 10 and the 10. W20 gifts in the chat. Put some W in the chat.
To this administration, right? In 2017, the Warriors were the first team to refuse a White House visit after winning their championship with Trump in office. And speaking of Trump, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich frequently go off on him. Pop once called him a soulless coward and a, quote, pathetic individual, a small man who has to make everybody around him smaller so he thinks he's going to be bigger. Well, that's not very nice. But during the pandemic, the NBA, by far the most outspoken league, which led Trump to call them basically a political organization. So the theory is he is now going after them for speaking out all these years against him. But where is the evidence of that? Well, these are two completely separate cases. The Mafia was behind the poker game, not the prop betting thing. That was just a group of shady gamblers. The connection was Billups and Damon Jones. They seem like two shady friends doing shady things. But the FBI makes it sound like it's this big NBA conspiracy.
Today, we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide-sweeping criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra.
Okay, bro. 25 total. Appreciate you with the 5. W's in the chat, man.
La Cosa Nostra is the Mafia. He's putting their names together. The NBA and La Cosa Nostra. Like they're in on it together. These are two completely separate cases. But when asked again, he said this.
This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
What is? The sports betting or the poker?
You know what's rich about him saying that? Is that I could about guarantee you the same thing is currently happening in the NFL and in any other major American league. And the reason why it's happening is because the politicians allowed a massive loophole that the illegal gambling was illegal in sports until they discovered the loophole 10 years ago, and they've been spamming ads at us, getting everybody addicted to the shit. They had the power to stop that. You can't take it from them now. Everybody's hooked on it. Everybody has the apps on their phone. Niggas is gambling on fucking badminton matches. It's over, bro. You can't remove the shit. It is not just happening here. It's happening in places like Australia and all around the world. Any country with money, they're gonna sit there and tell you it's good for taxes. Bro, it's degenerate. It's degenerate. And the few people who can control their urge to not gamble on literally everything, cool, congratulations. But there's a lot of people that can't. And they don't have anything, and they're losing whatever little they have to gambling because they're being spammed ads. I can't watch any sport without being spammed ads for this shit. I'm on YouTube, I'm being spammed ads. You genuinely have to try to not gamble, bro. So they're not innocent neither. So you can't point the finger when you had the ability to stop it. That's my opinion. But look though, it's not just the NBA. I guarantee there's more people in the NBA doing it than the ones discovered. I guarantee it. They just haven't been caught yet. They're not dumb and loud about it. And the same thing goes for any other major league, bro. You can't avoid this shit. It's completely unavoidable. I'm telling you, bro. Even as a content creator, man, the highest paying ads are the gambling ones. It's not easy for me, even as a person against it, to say no to them. One gambling ad is like 6 other ads. I could just do one gambling ad and call it a day for the whole month. It's going to fund everything I could possibly want to do. Millions and millions of dollars every year you have to choose to say no to because you just don't agree with it. I don't need a fucking pat on the back, but we're not going to sit here and pretend like niggas in this field don't do the same thing with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. They all know. Let me tell you, bro. Look at Intel's stock price, bro. Intel stock price. Do you want to know why it had this huge jump? Because the American government is now buying large percentages of American companies. The same way that China helps with the R&D for companies like BYD, right? The reason why China can come out with stuff cheaper than us, a big reason why, is because they have the support of the government, bro. And America's been free market for a very long time. And so the government has stayed away and just let the private companies cook up. But it's inefficient for the private companies to cook up. And to gain a competitive advantage in the world marketplace, they're going to have to help. I think they bought 10% of Intel, if I'm not mistaken. And they're doing the same thing with a lot of other major relevant corporations. Now, if somebody knew that they were going to do that and invested a bunch of money in Intel, they would be up fucking crazy right now. They would be up crazy. It's literally doubled in stock price, bro. It went from fucking 20 to 40. Come on, bro. Everybody's doing it, man. We just point the finger. Everybody's doing it. I swear everybody's doing it. It's so crazy. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Even the niggas with money is doing it. Everybody's doing it, bro. Everybody's doing it. The people who bought the Dallas Mavericks, they own a casino. What do you think their motives are? Everybody's doing it, bro.
Games. Why would you not make that distinction unless you're trying to make the NBA look bad? So yes, the FBI wants to make sure the entire NBA looks bad here, no question. I mean, what other reason is there to do this now? Rozier investigation been going on 2 years. It wraps up now when the season starts, but at the same time, these guys look guilty as hell. We could see a coach and Hall of Famer plus another player get banned for life. Now, I know a lot of people say legal gambling is to blame, but shady stuff has been going on for years. We only know about this from legal gambling. Sportsbooks caught Chauncey Porter unders, reported it to the FBI. That never happened before legalization. All underground. So this whole thing is deeper and more messed up than we thought. We'll just see if other names come out once these guys start talking to the FBI.
5 years,
but how about some good news? The NBA season did just start and the Rockets looked great despite Kevin Durant having an off game. It looks like they need just one more trade to actually contend. So what kind of trade?
I'm just saying, just be careful, bro. You know, whether you're invested in crypto, stock market, whether you gamble your money, regardless of what you put your money in, just know like every market could be manipulated, bro. Housing could be manipulated. All the Fed has to do is pump fake, hike rates, whatever, this, that, third. Like, it's not as free market as you think it is. Just be careful, bro. Like, that's why I put all my money into forehead tokens. Bro, it's scary, bro. It's so scary how shit fluctuates, man. I'm telling you, man. This shit's nuts, bro. It's nuts. All of it is nuts. All of it is nuts. Well, for what it's worth, you know, it's not like you could always point the finger, but I do hope all the people that are doing the under the table shit, trying to scam off the gambling or whatever, I hope they do get punished, man. Come on, bro. So for real, what do you do with your money? Businesses. I swear, I just don't trust anything, man. I don't even trust real estate. I stopped buying homes. I'm buying my parents' house just so they can have a good place to live, but that's it. I don't even really trust real estate. Dead ass. One law changed in Canada. They made it tougher for people to immigrate off student visas. It shook a lot of the people that felt comfortable buying homes. Condo prices is down like 35% in Toronto. It's like a plummet. And single family homes are coming next. If you own one of those, you're probably underwater right now. I'm telling you, all investments have some risk, realistically, you know, but I just trust business. Like, at least if a business fails, like, cool. I try my best. And if it succeeds, well, then you're up tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Damn, bro. Just be careful, man. Okay, I don't even have the answers on what feels safe to invest. I pulled my money out the stock market in 2021 because it felt like a bubble. It's 2025. It's still bubbling, bro. It's still going, bro. Yeah, I have my theories, but who knows? I'm not a fucking financial. I'm not an economist, so I can't really. I watched a little bit of this too. The actual like briefing where they discussed it.
Criminal enterprise that envelops both the NBA and La Casa Nostra.
Gold? Even gold might not be safe. There was some rumblings about America dumping their debt on gold or crypto. I watched a few videos on gold has been skyrocketing too. Gold has been skyrocketing crazy. Anybody who had their money in gold at the start of the year is up big time right now.
The men and women up here standing with me represent a small portion of the leadership team that brought profound justice in an era that needed it more than any. I'll just highlight some of the details in the case and the FBI work, and then you'll hear from the others. But as you now know, individuals such as Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier were taken into custody today. Former, current NBA players and coaches. What you don't know is that this is an illegal gambling operation and sports rigging operation that's been...
Tangible assets are the key for the Great Reset. Bro, unmaxed. You're literally just a theorist, bro. I'm telling you. There's no reset that happens. Recession, depression, where everybody doesn't lose everything. I'm telling you, if you have cash, you're losing to inflation. If you invest, depending on the industry, you still might lose, right? The dot, like Yahoo felt like a certain bet. Right? AOL felt like a banger bet in 2000, but both those companies failed. But if you pick the right company in 2000, then you're up. If you picked Amazon, you're up. If you pick Google, you're up. But that wasn't obvious to everybody 25 years ago. So we don't know which companies are going to win the AI race. Whichever one does, you're going to be up crazy. We don't know which companies are going to win any of these races. You have no idea. You have no clue, bro. It is. I needed some advice myself, my nigga. I don't know what the fuck I want to invest in. Nvidia? I mean, you could argue Nvidia's in a crazy bubble. You could argue it's in a crazy bubble, and you could also argue that it has more to go. And I don't know which one's right. I genuinely have no idea. There's theories going both ways. Look! 5 years ago, it was at 12. It's at 200, bro. It sure feels like a bubble, but what they do is so important to the future that it could just keep going up. We genuinely have no idea. Someone said buy index funds. You can, But it's like 6 companies that's propping up the whole fucking S&P 500. So like the main index fund that people dump their money into is just being supported entirely by the gains by like 5 companies. And I don't know much about some of the more, less common index funds. Maybe there's some bangers that we don't know about. Yeah, what the fuck do y'all niggas invest in, bro? I literally don't know what the fuck to do, if I'm being honest with y'all. Treasuries? I guess. I mean, if you want to make back a little, if you want to fight inflation, but you're not going to get rich off of that, my boy. Bro said bullets.
In the course of years, the FBI led a coordinated takedown across 11 states to arrest over 30 individuals today responsible for this case, which is very much ongoing. Not only did we crack into the fraud that these perpetrators committed on the grand stage of the NBA, but we also entered and executed a system of justice against La Casa Nostra to include the Bonanno, Gambino, Genovese, and Lucchese crime families. And you'll hear more about those details today.
Yeah, bro, it's 13 minutes. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but 30 people is crazy. That means like we're only hearing a few of the names, but there was a lot of niggas behind the scenes doing it though. That's essentially what that means. That is crazy.
The charges and the arrests that were taken down across this country range from wire fraud, money laundering.
The only thing I feel like is a safe investment is the companies you think are too big to fail. Like if they did fail, the government would just bail them out, like Chase Bank. Someone said Boeing. I don't think they could let Boeing fail just for defense purposes. Even if Boeing has a plane fall out the sky every 2 months, I don't think they would let Boeing fail. Like you basically just have to pick the organization you think that can't go bankrupt because it'll get bailed out. Nvidia is probably in that category too. Maybe.
Extortion, robbery, illegal gambling. This FBI will leave no room for any perpetrator of crime across this country. You hear
appreciate you with the 5 get the subs.
And crushing violent crime.
Yes, Lockheed, I'm investing.
Is also representative of a
Cheesecake
portion
Factory.
of the FBI's mandate to keep America safe and to keep our entertainment industry fair and secure. The men and women that are.
I asked my parents to invest in credit card. You know what's crazy, chat? I got a sad story to tell y'all niggas, bro. In 2017, I was caught in the FOMO of crypto and the shit was popping off and stuff like that. This is back when I lived in Canada. I created an account on an exchange and I dumped like a few $1,000s into Bitcoin, Ethereum, like just the shit that felt exciting at the time. Chainlink, XRP, shit like that, right? This is some of the more popular altcoins and then definitely the more popular main coins that everybody was investing in. And a few $1,000s then, it should be worth a few $100,000 now. Bro, the exchange went bankrupt and it wouldn't let me log in anymore. All the money I had sitting there was completely gone because the exchange went bankrupt. And the only solution was to sue the company to hope that I can get my money from the exchange. And ever since then, no, it wasn't FTX, it was before. And ever since then, I stopped investing in crypto. I was like, damn. But then, W-Scam? Yeah, I got hold. Yeah, actually one nigga in the chat got it right. One nigga in the chat got it right. Yo, bro. That shit made me a little sad, but at the same time, I just believe in God's plan, bro. Whatever happens, happens, man. For whatever reason, that money wasn't meant for me in the moment, you can't be too mad, though. How much you lost? I don't know the exact amount because I can't log in and find out. But I'm sure if I go back, I could maybe do the calculations. If I had to guess, it's probably like $300,000-$400,000. Sucks. But, I'm not going to live my life in FOMO over some fucking money, especially when I'm comfortable. Like, it'd be one thing if that's all the money I had invested and I lost it all, then I might be a little depressed. But, you can't live in... Yeah, but everything happens for a reason. Just be careful what money you put your exchange on, bro. That ass.